Hey guys, Bird Yu-Gi-Oh here. Today I'm coming at you with my Pendulum Magician deck profile. It's one I've been working on, testing out quite a bit. It's absolutely amazing. There's an amazing card in here that just really helps you out against a lot of decks. I'll show you that when we get to it. But if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, and we'll get right into this one. Starting off with 3 Harmonizing Magician. This is the one you definitely want to open up so that you can Pendulum summon it, because when this card is Pendulum summoned, you can special summon 1 Magician Pendulum monster from your deck in defense position. Its effects are negated, but usually because Harmonizing is a tuner as well, so you can either go into like a rank 4 or an easy level 8 synchro. So very good card. Definitely want to open it up. You just get a free magician from your deck, basically any level you want. So absolutely amazing card. Or another really good card that you want to open up, Wisdom Eye. I'm playing it at 3. You can special summon this off of Harmonizing. Also, if you don't open up Pendulum Call, this is your next best opening, as long as you obviously have another magician in your hand. So I still really like it. This basically becomes any magician pendulum monster, because if this is in the pendulum scale, you can destroy this, and if you do, you place another magician pendulum from your deck to your pendulum zone. You just have to control, like I said, control another magician in your other pendulum scale. So very good opening card. If, like I said, if you don't open up Pendulum Call, because Pendulum Call is obviously better. But by far my favorite Pendulum Magician card is Purple Poison. This is your way of just destroying boards. Just with this card, because its monster effect is if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you could target 1 face-up card in the field and destroy it. So that doesn't seem like much, but if you can just attack this into a card, destroy it, and then you get to pop a card on the field. Its scale effect is if your dark spellcaster type monster, which you play a lot of them, battles before damage calculation, you can make that card gain 1200 attack, and then you destroy this card. So you can automatically destroy this card during the battle phase, which that right there can get rid of some problematic cards. But basically, if you can get him on the board and have a Jackal King, I found that a lot of decks want to make the Borreload Savage Dragon, and a lot of decks can make that very easily. And then you can simply just make this, get this and a Jackal King on the board, and that's just a 2 card, get rid of that Borreload Savage Dragon easily, because you're going to attack, have this card get destroyed, and then they're going to be trying to activate Borreload Savage to negate him, and then you're just going to negate it with Jackal King, and then get a free pop. You'll pop that card, or pop another card then, because you're negating with Jackal King. So this card, in almost every instance I have it on the field, it's absolutely amazing. It just helps you break boards, basically. And then we do play 3 Black Fang as well. He's another one during the battle phase. You can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes half its current attack, and then you can destroy him. And when he's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 dark spellcaster in your graveyard and special summon it. Another reason we're playing it at 3 is because this deck does not have too many high scales. I mean, obviously Harmonizing is, but most of the time you want to be special summoning Harmonizing, not putting it to scale. So I found just 3 Black Fang is really nice for just another high scale, and another level 4 is really nice. We also play 2 Oath Dragon. In certain cases, this is just absolutely amazing card, because if you have another magician in your pendulum zone, you can add 1 face-up magician from your extra deck to your hand. So you can take Wisdom Eye, destroy itself, add an Oath Dragon, put Oath Dragon in scale, and then add that Wisdom Eye back to your hand. That's really nice. Also, he's a level 6 spellcaster, which really comes up for our extra deck. and he's 2100 attack, so he's decent. And then we play some level 7s, Janky Magician. The main reason I play him, he's a level 7, but also his monster effect does come up more than you think, because once per turn during either player's turn, you can just target one light monster on the field, and you negate that face-up monster's effect until the end of the turn. So that does, like I said, come up more than you think. Also play a Dragon Pit, just another way of getting rid of a problematic spell and trap on the field, and it's also, again, a level 7 for going into our rank 7 Xyz. And then in addition, so that's basically our magicians that we play. And then we're also playing the Endymion engine in here. I'm doing a slightly smaller one than you would normally see, but it's worked out very, very well. We're playing 2 of the big Endymion. All these effects kind of go well together because he's, again, a dark spellcaster, so you can boost his attack sometimes with Purple Poison or Black Fang. With Purple Poison, and have your opponent's attack with Black Fang. So he becomes just basically indestructible if he has a counter on him. And then we play the 1 Servant, you're down to 1. And then I'm doing 1 Reflection and 1 Magister. I have found that opening up Magister is just super, super nice. Because you can, on your opponent's turn, you can remove 3 spell counters from your field and special summon 1 monster from your deck that you can place a spell counter on. So it can either be, Endymion or like a Jackal King. But overall, I've found that effect comes up quite a bit. But they're all just very decent cards. For the Mythical Beast engine, we're just doing 2 Master Cerberus. I've just found when I play it at 3, I just see it way too much. It's only good going first. I'm going to say it's impossible to pendulum summon him. So he's just super hard to get out, unless, like I said, you're basically going first, or your opponent destroys your whole board, you have no pendulum scales, and you happen to have him in your hand, then you can probably do something. But 2 I found is just fine. And then 2 Jackal King. Might even bump it up to 3. This card's just amazing. You're usually going to be able to pendulum summon him out. And just that monster negate is just really, really good. And then for some turbo cards, to just get some more spellcasters on the board. Basically so you can get to Selene if you need to. Or Crowley. We play 3 Chronograph Sorcerer. And then the 1 Time Gazer. They're very good. He also comes up because he's a level 6 spellcaster to go into Norito. So him and Oath Dragon, very easy to go into a Norito. But yeah, that's those. And then we're playing 3 Magical Abductor because opening this up is very, very, very good. Especially opening that with, say, a Spell Power Mastery is just super, super nice. And that Pendulum Scale is actually very nice. 3 is just perfect for this deck. And then played 2 Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. And then to go along with him, we play the 2 Spellbook of Secrets. And then the 1 Knowledge. You are fine seeing these in your hand, but you really don't want to see Knowledge. So that's why we're doing 2, 2, 1. Most of the time, you would actually prefer not to see any of them, and then just be able to go into Crowley, and then just get a free one. You hope it's one of these. But yeah, that's the draw engine in this deck that is just so easy to get to and just absolutely amazing. So definitely play those. That is it for the monsters and a few of the spells. The other draw cards we play, of course, Pot of Desires, played at 3. This is actually a 50-card deck, so Pot of Desires at 3 almost never hurts you. You're almost never going to be drawing another one off of another Pot of Desires. but it's still possible. But yeah, definitely need that draw power. And then we're playing on the Endymion engine, so Spell Power Mastery at 3. Definitely have to play it. Get any of your Endymion cards that you need to your hand. Plus, you can place a spell counter on a card after you activate this, so that's always a plus. Like I said, especially with Abductor. Spell Power Mastery and Abductor is really, really nice. And then we play 3 Pendulum Call. It's your best opening card for magicians. So this is your way of searching easily, like a Harmonizing or a Purple Poison, whatever you need. This will get you. And then we play the Pendulum Graph cards. 2 Star Pendulum Graph. This card is just absolutely broken. Your opponent cannot target spellcaster type monsters you control with spell cards or effects. And then if a face-up Magician Pendulum card leaves your monster zone or pendulum zone, you can add a Pendulum Magician monster from your deck to your hand. So protection and search power, very, very good card. And then Time Pendulum Graph is another one, just absolutely broken. Especially, targeting, say, a Purple Poison. You're going to target your Purple Poison, destroy it, destroy a card your opponent controls, plus destroy even another card. So this Time Pendulum Graph and Purple Poison is just too good for just breaking boards. And it's a continuous, so you could use it on your opponent's turn and then back on your turn. It's an amazing, amazing card. I love seeing that card. So that's it for the main deck. Like I said, it's 50 cards. But honestly, for a Pendulum deck, it's really not that bad playing over 40. Especially with a version like this, where you have a lot of really, really good cards. We played 2 Selene in the extra deck. You definitely don't have to play 2. I would at least play 1, but she is very, very good. Mostly as a part of like your Endymion engine, but she just requires 2 monsters, including a spellcaster. You'll place spell counters on her equal to the number of spells on the field and in the graveyard, so she could potentially have quite a few. And then while an Endymion card is on the field, your opponent cannot target this card for attacks. And then once per turn during your main phase, which is the main effect, you can remove 3 spell counters and special summon from your field, so any monster on your field, and then you can special summon 1 spellcaster from your hand or your graveyard in defense position to a zone this card points to. So she is just a very, very, very good card. If you go into like some of your XCs, usually it's going to be like your rank 7 Odd Eyes, and then you'll get that to the grave, special summon your Vortex, and then you'll have monsters in the grave then to usually be able to special summon for Selene. So she becomes very, very good in a deck like this that can go into XCs and get your Pendulum monsters to the grave, because that's sometimes a little bit difficult to get them to the grave instead of back to the extra deck. But yeah, very, very good card. And then Crowley, this is your way of searching one of your spellbook cards. Really, really good. And then we play the Nightmares because this deck can just put up crazy, crazy negates going first and then break boards going second. And some of the best ways to do that is with the Nightmares. So Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. And we're also playing Unicorn as well because if you can end on an IP Masquerena, that's just a really good disruption on your opponent's turn. So that's it for the links. We're not going too crazy with the links, but and then for the XCs, play a Time Star. This is a really nice way you just detach 1, add a dark spellcaster monster from your deck, graveyard, or face up in your extra deck. And then once per turn, if a Pendulum card in your monster zone or Pendulum zone will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send 1 spellcaster from your deck to your graveyard instead. So really good protection and search power. Dugaris, I always talk about this card, but in a rank 4, a deck that can make rank 4s, this is the absolute must. You're going to be either doubling the attack of one monster, special summoning a monster from your graveyard, or drawing 2 cards and discarding a card. So, very, very good card. And then sometimes you want to just end your board and just lock out your opponent's extra deck. If you have a couple negates plus an Abyss Dweller, you're probably sitting pretty good. And then I mentioned it, but we play a Norito. It just requires 2 level 6 spellcasters. And this is just when your opponent activates a spell or trap card, detach 1, negate the activation, and destroy it. So absolutely amazing for just stopping a very important, spell and trap that your opponent's trying to activate. This is very good to end your board on. And then our rank 7 is going to be Odd Eyes Absolute. Only reason we play him is to go into your Odd Eyes Vortex. That is sometimes, the best way to end your board because Vortex is just absolutely amazing. And then we can make level 8 synchros with this deck very easily. So going first, Omega is just super, super nice. Basically just getting rid of a card out of your opponent's hand. And then it's kind of a comeback card too because it's leaving the field. You're banishing this and then 1 card from your opponent's hand. So they're not using that card. But then during the standby phase, this card will come back. So your opponent's not going to be able to... They might clear your board that turn, but then this is coming back during your standby phase. So you'll always have a monster with Omega. It's just kind of nice to have that. And then going second, Ignister is just really, really nice for just non-targeting. You just shuffle 1 card into the deck on the field. So doesn't target and doesn't send to the graveyard. So really, really nice. That is it for the deck, guys. Trust me, I've done a lot of testing online with this deck, and it's so far performed very, very well. Like I said, almost pretty much the best card that can just get rid of a lot of cards is Purple Poison. It's been the MVP so far, just through play testing and all that. It's definitely a must at 3. Definitely like that card, but yeah, if you guys haven't already, go and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.